Damian Williams, the lead prosecutor on the controversial Diddy case, Diddy Do It, the story behind the prosecution. Imagine growing up in a household filled with stories of resilience, struggle, and triumph. Picture your parents as young immigrants carrying with them the rich history of their homeland, while you, the first in your family born on American soil, navigate a world vastly different from theirs. This is the backdrop against which Damian Williams, the first Black U.S. attorney for the Southern District of New York, was raised. But today, he stands at the center of one of the most high-profile legal battles of our time, the prosecution of music mogul Sean Diddy Combs. The case has sparked intense interest and speculation, but the story of the man behind the prosecution is equally compelling. In this video, we'll dive deep into Damian Williams' journey, his Jamaican heritage, and what this case means not just for him, but for the entire legal and entertainment landscape. Stay with us, because the story we're about to unfold is filled with unexpected twists and turns. And trust me, you don't want to miss any of it. The early years, a story of determination. Damian Williams was born in New York City to Jamaican immigrant parents. They came to the United States from the small parish of Westmoreland, known for its lush landscapes and strong community ties. Growing up in the bustling environment of Atlanta, Georgia, Williams was far removed from the serene Caribbean environment of his parents' upbringing, but the values they instilled in him were rooted in their Jamaican heritage: hard work, integrity, and the relentless pursuit of excellence. Despite the challenges of being a first-generation American in a predominantly black neighborhood, Williams excelled academically. He attended Woodward Academy in Atlanta, where he didn't just blend in, he stood out, becoming the student body president. This leadership role was the first sign of his potential, a potential that would later be realized in one of the most prestigious legal roles in the country: a scholar and a trailblazer. Williams's academic journey took him from the classrooms of Woodward Academy to the hallowed halls of Harvard University, where he earned his undergraduate degree. But he didn't stop there. He went on to Cambridge University and then to Yale Law School, gathering accolades and honing his skills along the way. Each step was a testament to his dedication and the solid foundation his parents had built for him. In an interview, Williams once mentioned how his parents always reminded him of where he came from. They would talk about the struggles back home in Jamaica, the sacrifices they made, and how it was now his duty to seize the opportunities they never had. For many of us from immigrant families, this sense of responsibility is familiar. It's both a burden and a gift, a constant reminder that our successes are not just ours alone. The legal journey begins. After law school, Williams clerked for some of the most respected names in the judiciary, including Judge Merrick Garland and U.S. Supreme Court Justice John Paul Stevens. He then joined the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Southern District of New York, where he quickly made a name for himself in high-stakes cases involving securities fraud and public corruption. His rise was meteoric, but it was not without its challenges. As a black man in a predominantly white field, Williams had to navigate a complex landscape, balancing his ambition with the reality of systemic barriers. But it was his work ethic and commitment to justice that set him apart. He was known for his meticulous preparation and his ability to see the bigger picture. These qualities eventually led to his appointment as the first Black U.S. attorney for the Southern District of New York in 2021. It was a historic moment, not just for Williams, but for the Jamaican-American community and people of Caribbean descent everywhere. The Sean Diddy Combs case, an unfolding drama, and now Williams finds himself at the center of a case that has captured the world's attention. Sean Diddy Combs, the music mogul known for his influence in the hip-hop industry, faces serious charges including racketeering and sex trafficking. The allegations are grave, involving a network of exploitation and abuse that spans over a decade. As we delve deeper into this case, it's crucial to understand why it's such a big deal. For one, it's a rare moment when a figure as prominent as Diddy is brought to court on such serious charges. But beyond that, it's about what this case represents. A moment of reckoning for the powerful in the entertainment industry, and a statement that no one is above the law. But before we get into the nitty-gritty of the allegations and the potential outcomes, if you're finding this story intriguing so far, please take a moment to like this video and leave a comment below. It helps the YouTube algorithm push this video to more viewers like you, and we'd love to hear your thoughts on this case. Now let's get back to the story. Understanding the charges. A closer look. The charges against Diddy are not just a list of legal jargon. They paint a picture of alleged manipulation, abuse, and exploitation. According to the indictment, Diddy is accused of leading a criminal enterprise that used his business empire to exploit and abuse women. The indictment mentions specific instances of violence, coercion, and even instances where Diddy allegedly used his power and influence to obstruct justice. For Damian Williams, this case is a test not just of his legal acumen, but of his integrity. As the first Black U.S. attorney for the Southern District of New York, he's under immense pressure to handle this case with precision and fairness. The eyes of the world are on him, and for many in the Jamaican and wider Caribbean community, his success or failure will reflect on them as well. The importance of representation. Williams' presence in this role is a powerful statement about the changing face of the American legal system. For too long, people of color, and particularly those of Caribbean descent, have been underrepresented in positions of power. His appointment is a symbol of progress, but it also brings with it heightened expectations. Many see him as a role model, a representation of what is possible when talent meets opportunity. And speaking of possibilities, there's something you need to know about the impact this case could have on Diddy's career and the wider entertainment industry. But before we get into that, I want to take a moment to remind you that 90% of our viewers are not subscribed to this channel. If you're enjoying this content and want to stay informed on stories like this, please hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Now let's continue. The potential fallout. What's at stake? If Diddy is convicted, the implications will be far-reaching. Not only would it be a devastating blow to his personal and professional life, but it could also set a precedent for how similar cases are handled in the future. It would signal that even the most powerful figures in the entertainment world can be held accountable for their actions. For the victims involved, a conviction would be a moment of validation, a statement that their voices matter and that justice can be served. For Williams, it would be a defining moment in his career, solidifying his reputation as a prosecutor who is not afraid to take on the powerful. The link to the past. A history of injustice. This case also brings to mind the long history of injustice that has plagued both the entertainment industry and the legal system. For decades, powerful men have used their influence to exploit others, often without facing any consequences. This case, in many ways, is a moment of reckoning, not just for Diddy, but for an entire system that has allowed such behavior to go unchecked. But before we wrap up, there's another aspect of this story that ties directly to a previous video we made about the tensions between Jamaicans and Black Americans. If you haven't seen it yet, I highly recommend you check it out after this video. The cultural dynamics at play in this case are complex and multifaceted, and understanding them requires a deeper dive. Damian Williams, a beacon of hope. As we come to the end of this story, it's important to reflect on what Damian Williams represents. He is more than just a U.S. attorney. He is a symbol of what can be achieved when hard work, dedication, and opportunity meet. For the Jamaican community, he is a source of pride, a testament to the strength and resilience that so many Caribbean immigrants carry with them. This case will undoubtedly be one of the most challenging of his career, but if there's one thing we've learned about Damian Williams, it's that he does not back down from a challenge. His story is still being written, and as we watch it unfold, we are reminded that the fight for justice is never easy, but it is always worth it. Conclusion. Thank you for sticking with us through this deep dive into the life and career of Damian Williams. If you found this story compelling, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And remember to check out our video on Jamaicans versus Black Americans. What's the cause of this feud, to get a better understanding of the cultural context surrounding this case.